Hello Taurus, welcome to your weekly reading. This is going to be for the week of the 14th going to 20th of June. I am super excited because for the earth signs, the channeled messages were pretty awesome. So I'm just going to go through with those first, and then we're going to go into your personal tarot and see what's going on for you Taurus within this week. So let's go straight ahead into it. I'm really excited for you guys actually. One thing I will mention here is that for the majority of the signs that I've read so far, it seems like everyone's getting this inspired energy, right? Everyone's wanting to have this drive to take action towards something. So water signs had it as they had this motivation. They felt like they needed to exert some energy in certain new projects and things. And you guys seem to have a very similar thing, which is incredible and amazing. So I do sense here that there is going to be a birth. I wanted to say rebirth here, so maybe it's an old idea, old relationship that is starting to find its own little rekindling within this week for you guys here, Taurus. It is a very positive week for romance, I must say. All right, intuitively, I can feel like that is the case. But for those of you wanting to start businesses, wanting to do new ideas, this is the perfect time to really take on action in this, to make the plan, to do it, all right? Not just to think, but to do is really being called upon you guys within this week. Now, one thing I did sense with this, which is why I've written it down, you have the right to be excited and happy. Do not dim your light to fit in with other people. I do sense that maybe this is past conditioning for you, Taurus, of where you feel like you don't really want to show off what it is that you're doing or going through, and all the exciting stuff that is starting to play out in your life. Maybe Taurus, you are or have always been told to keep on the down low, or maybe you have these worries, or maybe people didn't accept you in the past when you wanted to talk about things that were exciting and people felt like you were being arrogant. This is the time to get rid of that past conditioning by actually allowing yourself to be happy about the things that are going to be coming your way. Regardless of whether you see this or not, you will feel it. That is no matter of a doubt. There is an inspired energy coming through, maybe for your dreams, maybe for your daydreaming. I get the sense of excitement. I'm getting you're looking at something in particular within this week here, Taurus, that's really driving you crazy. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this. You are gonna want to do this, and you're gonna want to do this quickly, and you're gonna want to get the rewards very quickly as well. But obviously things take time. Understand that, Taurus. If anyone understands that, it's you. But this is a very good week to feel happy and excited about the things that you're wanting to bring into this life, which is good. Just don't dim your light. Don't feel like you need to quiet up about your achievements just because someone else is envious. No, obviously don't rub it in people's faces, but I don't think you're that kind of person anyways, Taurus. But be happy about it. Feel free to call a friend, feel free to speak to someone, and actually let people encourage you as well. I feel like, Taurus, a lot of the time you've just dealt with your own like successes and quiet. This is a good time to ring a friend and have them support you too, you know? Two people cheering is louder than one, and I feel like I want 10 people behind you here cheering your name because of the things that you're about to do and the things that you're actually starting to see. You guys are going through a transformation. This doesn't have to be a physical thing, like a new job, or it doesn't have to be anything like that. This is something to do with the development of yourself on so many different platforms here, Taurus, which is a good thing, okay? But again, allow yourself to scream it out into the world what it is that you have achieved or will be achieving, okay? And don't feel that you need to be on the hush hush. All right, don't be afraid of evil eye. Yes, it's a thing, but you are able to control the energies that come into your life. And, you know, so be very aware of the fact that, yes, people may doubt you, may try to bring you down because of the successes and the jealousy that they feel and because of the successes that they see that you are doing. But all right, that's their energy. That can't actually be portrayed into yours unless you take it in and absorb it, all right? We have a very beautiful shield that we can use. If we aren't using it because we aren't active in making sure that we are protected and grounding ourselves, then this is going to be something that may affect you. You may feel small. You may feel like you need to dim your light and not speak about the things that you're going through that are exciting for you because you're afraid that other people might take it in an arrogant way or whatever. That's a reflection of them. Do not be afraid to vocally vocally express your truth because of other people and how they might perceive it, okay? Like, why? Anyways, I don't know why. People are very skeptical about this, and I understand, you know, no one wants someone evil or negative, you know, trying to ruin or curse what it is that you're doing. No. You are able to protect your own energy 100%. Okay, that is a fact. At least for me anyways. I know this within my life, and I'm someone who believes strongly about that. I'm sure for those of you who have listened to the podcast on Evil Eye, I recommend if you haven't. I'm a very strong believer in the fact that you shouldn't have to quiet yourself up about your successes because you're afraid that other people are going to take it in a negative way, or that people are going to think that you're arrogant, or people that are going to, again, podcasting. I do also have an episode on confidence versus ego. Very different things. How people perceive it is a reflection of their own insecurities. Do not let that come into your life. And as well, we have do not hesitate. If it is a yes, if this is something you really want to go for, nothing can stop you, Taurus. But if you're unsure, then take time away from this, okay? Maybe it's a no for now, all right? It's really important to get rid of any procrastination, anything that is making you hesitate, anything that's making you feel like you are unsure, you know, or you're apprehensive about something. This is a time, if it's not a definite yes, it's a hell no. I read that somewhere, but it's true. So this is a perfect week to do that. This is an amazing week for pleasure and fulfillment. A lot of you are actually starting to see the results of the things that you're doing. It is a very pleasant week for a lot of you. It could be a great time in the sun, a great time around family, friends, or even a great time in your own company here, Taurus. Whatever it is, you are going to feel very happy about how the week has gone, especially in terms of the successes that could potentially be coming into your life as well, which is good. I also heard the setback was a blessing in disguise. If you've taken some time out, if something did block your way, this was something that caused you to take a step back to get some sort of inspired action. I actually feel like these are connected. This setback that made you kind of sit back, had to rethink about certain things, whatever this setback was and however big or small it was, it has caused you to have this inspired action that's coming in for you as well, okay? So really, really important stuff. We also have seeing yourself in a different light. Now, I love this. This goes very nicely in with the transformation and surrender, because what I was seeing was almost how we were seeing ourselves was not true. It's almost like you have this perception of yourself that isn't the best. Like, you're almost not seeing how vibrant you are. You're not seeing how amazing you are. You aren't seeing the things that you bring into the world, the light that you bring, the beauty that you bring in the world with just your aura alone. Like, I could hype you up forever, Taurus, but to keep it nice and short and sweet, how you're looking at yourself is not what you look like, or not what you're perceived like by others. To understand that, and even if it's not towards others, because a lot of the time how others perceive us can be a lot to do with our own projection. You know, if we're kind of recluse and aloof in our own energy, then people are going to see us as that, right? But if we are confident, then there are going to be people who see you as a very confident person who has your shit together, and you are someone who is inspiring. So take on that energy. And I do think it's time to really let out this new you that is always wanting to come out of this beautiful, vibrant, what they showed me was almost like a moth and a butterfly. How you're seeing yourself is this moth, right? Which is, I mean, just definitely not anything compared to a butterfly. They're almost like opposing energies in my world. Like, I don't know how to describe it to you, but I'm sure you understand. Moths normally are like not as vibrant as butterflies tend to be, or it's very rare for them to be anyways. You know, moths kind of, they just, what do? They just eat clothes, and they're known for being, you know, people who go towards dangerous things and always kind of get burnt by life is the saying that's coming to my head. Whereas butterflies are a lot more joyous and happy, and, you know, you see a lot of them are in the sunshine a lot of the time when you think of butterflies. So, there is a different version of yourself that's waiting to come out, but you need to see yourself in a different light first. And this is where the transformation and surrender comes in, because there is an old part of ourselves, an old way of looking at ourselves also that needs to change. We need to let go of it. Everything that has ever happened in the past that is no longer your truth needs to be let go, so that we can transform and turn into this beautiful butterfly that we always have been, but have covered over by dimming ourselves, like we said in the other messages. We are closing many cycles within this week for all the earth signs, which is good. Two main ones. Could be anything from career, relationships, your personal life, your mentality, anything, but you're being called to not give up. This is a challenge. We have the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. There's anxieties, there's worries, there's stress. There's an overwhelming amount of questions and obstacles in your world. Most likely here, you know, so much that you need to do. It's that kind of energy. The thing is, both of these cards are really strong people. They just don't realize it, all right? You're so close to going from the 9 to the 10, which is completion, going to the next level, upgrading, blowing up, whatever it is, Taurus. Don't give up now, okay? You are able to do this, okay? You're able to find the truth. You're able to find the answers. You're able to find a solution. You're also able to stay strong in what it is that you're doing and to release everything that you need to release so that this new chapter of your life can come through. And we also have Spark of Creativity, which is very similar to the Inspired Action. This is going to be a really good time for traveling, if you're allowed to, obviously. Adventure, education, and fun. This is a really good time to kind of be spontaneous, Taurus. I'm not going to lie. Allow yourself to go out more if you're allowed. Allow yourself to do things that you don't normally do. Allow yourself to have fun. You know, you don't need to be the best at everything, Taurus. You just need to be able to have a good time, and that's all that matters the most, okay? So let's go into your tarot for you specifically here, Taurus. I'm going to pull you out a couple of mantras first. Then we're going to go into tarot and see what's going on for you. Let's see. I also had a weird thing for all the earth signs to do with your teeth. I don't know what's happening with your teeth around this time. Just make sure you keep an eye on it, okay? Let's see. For Taurus. A mantra for Taurus, please. Oh, one fell out. We didn't even know. More gets accomplished when everybody has a role to play. So this is about dividing things, you know, making sure that you give other people, what's the word for it? You like delegating jobs and roles to others so that you aren't the one that's doing it all by yourself. Now, I know you, Taurus, you are hard workers. You do kind of bear the brunt of a lot of things because you are strong enough to. You kind of pull the whole wagon by yourself. You're able to, all right? But in times like this, it's a really good time to actually have some people around you to help you, okay? Make sure that you are asking others because it will make you happier and a lot more can be accomplished, all right? Don't be afraid to ask people. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask people for help around this time because a lot more can be done. For those of you who are wanting your own businesses, maybe it's a good time to start actually thinking about partnerships and actually employing people. If you're already in a workplace, maybe it's a good time to actually speak up and ask for the help that you need as well, okay? Because everyone does have a role to play if you allow it. You don't need to carry everything by yourself. All right, Taurus, let's see what else is going up for you. So you're being told about cooperation, even if it's in families and stuff, or even in friendships, whatever it is, in relationships too. It's about making sure that we each understand our role, making sure, especially during the Mercury retrograde, which we're currently in, that there is no difficulty in understanding who's playing what role and what other people need to do. It's a really good time to go over contracts, really good time to make sure that everyone's in the right place at the right time, you know? So being organized is necessary. So this one says, demystifying the darkness. I haven't seen this one before. My shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent. I love this. This is about healing it, like healing your shadow, you know, healing the triggered part of you that does come out. You know, when we get triggered and the darkness, so your shadow, shows you where you need to heal, and how we heal it is by applying love to that situation. And this is interesting. Now, a lot of you maybe, you know, there's a lot of different scenarios I can bring up for this, especially in terms of your childhood. Maybe you were the person that had to do everything alone. Maybe you did have to grow up quite quickly at a young age. This kind of feels like an open wound in terms of not being able to ask people for help. Maybe you feel insecure, not worthy enough if you have to ask others. Maybe you had someone to prove a point to in your, you know, early days of your life where you felt like you needed to please someone. You had to be the strong person for so other people can praise you and see that you're doing all the hard work. The only thing is, the reason why we still have that now is because someone didn't fulfill that. Despite your efforts of trying to please people, by all the hard work and efforts that you were putting in, even if it's relationships, by the way, guys, someone was not giving you that validation. Someone was not seeing you for the hard worker that you are. Someone was not seeing you for the person that you are, where you kind of took on everything by yourself, and you didn't get that acceptance or appreciation for the hard work that you have done and put into something. So we kind of keep looking for it, and it does open a bit of a trigger, and we do kind of get set in our own ways, especially Taurus, because you're a fixed sign, and especially if this is something that happened a very long time ago. By understanding that you have this inner trauma, we can learn to heal it. Why? By loving ourselves enough to actually go setting those boundaries and go, do you know what? It'd be better if you did this and I do this. Do you know what? It'd be better if you guys can do this and I'll just stick to this, the thing that I'm good at. Do you know what I mean? It's about allowing yourself to speak to others, delegate, set, boundaries in place so that you aren't being trodden over, Taurus, and that you aren't being, that you are actually being recognized for the leader that you are, especially for those of you who are trying to start your own business or anything, or even if it's in a workplace, you're trying to be the higher person here. It's almost like you and your shadow can actually make you a better employee, a better lover, a better parent, a better child to your parents. There's so many different levels that this can actually help you in, but it does have a lot to do with how you cooperate with others and making sure you actually are able to speak up. It can be very daunting from time to time, don't get me wrong, in terms of speaking up about things that you have never spoken about before. It can get really scary, especially if there are people who are quite intimidating, but you have the power to do so. And I think it can actually lead you in some really positive places because your overall theme is success. So please remember that. Right, my lovely Tauruses, let's see what the tarot has to say for you. You have 7 of Cups. Interesting. Right, when the 7 of Cups comes in, it does talk a lot about confusions, answers, unanswered questions, should I say. Always wanting to find a solution to something. Now, it almost feels like there's a bunch of things to do, Taurus. As I'm saying that, I'm getting a bit of a headache behind my right eye. It feels like there's a stress in your life in terms of there's confusion, there's, uncertainty going on. Maybe there's just a ton of things that you need to do. This is a really positive time to actually ask people for help. It almost feels like, I know it's not normally like this in a Rider-Waite deck, but it almost feels like everyone has their own expertise in your life. They're all good at something. Allow them to help you. Okay, it's a really good time to allow others to help you. If it's your parents, if it's friends, lovers, or colleagues, really do ask for help. Or even if it's strangers, you can easily make what's the word for it? Acquaintances through fated meetings and stuff like that. But by approaching these people can actually help you out the most. Anyways, right. There's a lot of confusion in your life, a lot of options in your life. You do feel quite kind of swallowed up by something here, Taurus, because there is just so much going on around you. You don't even know how you're going to be able to do it yourself. Let's have a look and see. The answer is kind of there already. Ask people for help here, Taurus. It can really help you out. And again, it will show you in a positive light. What you're scared of is people going, oh, Taurus can't do it. Taurus is having to give this job to someone else, or if it's in a relationship, oh, you can't handle anything. What are you expecting, Taurus, to happen? Because what I can see is that someone is going to see that you are a natural leader because of your ability to give to other people. If this is in terms of relationships, you're going to show that you're a lot stronger and a lot more independent. All right, and that you have your own willpower in a relationship because you're now delegating, you're now standing up, you're now actually giving orders and actually saying, do you know what, and setting those boundaries. Okay, and if there's someone that is disrespecting your boundaries, well, then it's clear. If someone is saying no to your boundaries, you can tell them to piss off, because we're not having that around this time. Oh no, we're not having that, Taurus. It's not happening, but it's going to help you out. You doing this, regardless of the outcome, is going to give you good people around you, okay? Let's see what else is going on for you. Be careful of these headaches, guys. Maybe you need to get them checked if they're consistent, because it's only in your reading that these have started to come up behind my right eye, okay? If you're staring at a screen a lot, maybe we need some of those, what they call those glasses that are good when you're looking at screens too often. I don't know what the term is, but they could really help you out, by the way. Let's have a little look. Or maybe just reducing screen time if you can. For Taurus, please. Let's have a little look and see. 2 of Pentacles. So again, a lot of decision making. You're having to balance a lot of things on your plate. Now, when the 2 of Pentacles comes out, yes, it is about making a decision and having a lot, but this is mainly about multitasking. You're having to do 2 people's job, or whatever it is coming up here, or 2 projects you're having to deal with in one go. Something's pushing you, and I want to kind of see how this is going to go, because I do see a lot of pressure being on you within this week. But remember, Channeled Messages did say there's success around the corner, so let's ask Spirit, what is going to be happening, please? Let's talk about this multitasking. The outcome. We have 4 of Cups. All right, let's get one more, please. Where did I go? The Chariot. Okay, this is nice. We like this. So expect within this week there is going to be a little bit of difficulties in terms of what you're having to do. Again, I do see a lot of multitasking. I do see a lot of things going on around you. But one thing I will say is that there is a solution. Now, I have a new meaning to the Four of Cups since I had a little channeling yesterday. What they were showing me was that sometimes the opportunities are always there, but it's just our perception of the opportunities needs to change. Because at the moment with the Four of Cups, we're not seeing it as something that's going to help us. We're seeing it as something different, like it's just going to add a burden, or it's just going to make things difficult, or there's something that you're wanting to add into your life that you feel like this isn't the right time for it, or it isn't the right thing to add. We're talking ourselves out of opportunities. Be careful of that, all right? This is a card of complacency, all right? Because there is a need to change something because things are piling on top of you, Taurus. But this is the time to speak up about it. This is the time to ask for help. This is the time to talk to people about what it is that we're feeling and experiencing, because this is actually going to help you more than you realize. And this is why you feel like whatever this is, whatever option this is, whatever opportunity it is, whatever outcome it is that we're thinking about in terms of solving this, you're worried that it's just going to add to the workload, but it's actually going to relieve you, okay? And then we have the Chariot coming in here, which is about you moving forward. It is the Emperor in this Chariot most of the time, which is amazing because it speaks about you taking leadership, taking control, which is incredible. It's also about you moving forward. So there being a plan. I think a lot of reflection is needed around this time. Clarity is going to come through here. If you meditate on it, if you envision it, I do actually see that there is going to be an opportunity that you have manifested within this week in particular, that is going to help you move forward into something a lot better. Chariot is a very amazing card for forward movement, for just positivity overall, just making sure that your balance is super important as we're moving forward, okay? Any new projects are favored around this time. Just make sure we're clearing up all the backlog first before we do move into anything. And be open, Taurus, all right? Be open to having help, but also be open to a different perspective. Instead of saying, oh, this trigger a part of myself, my shadow side is irritating, it's annoying, or it's getting in the way, or just plain and simply like that moth and butterfly comparison. Instead of saying that this is the way that you are, this negative person or whatever it is, actually understanding that this shadow is always a part of ourselves, but surrendering to that, all right, and understanding and healing it, giving it love and compassion and whatever it needs is going to help you turn into this butterfly a lot more. So nothing is ever permanent is what I say, all right? You can change it. You can change your fate. I just want to pull a last cheeky card for you. We have the Hanged Woman. Amazing. What this speaks about is being in a temporary situation of difficulty so that we can get a lesson behind it. So this is an uncomfortable situation for you to feed into the dark side, to work on your shadow, okay, and to ask and step outside your comfort zone and do things that you never normally do. But this is going to be something that teaches you a very valid lesson. And it's not just a lesson, it's a lesson that is going to help you for the majority of your life, okay? Really, really important stuff. One thing I will say, there are things that you can do around this time. Again, inspired action, absolutely. But make sure you're actually taking action on it and not just thinking too much. The Piscean energy here is sometimes we can get lost in our thoughts. It's a really good creative card to have, but a lot of the time we can feel a lot more stuck than we really are. Okay, and when we learn a lesson from something, then it's time to move forward, not get hung up on it, okay? Because I do feel like freedom is coming in for you guys within the rest of the week, which is important. Let's have a look and see what's going on for you in this deck. I'm just going to pull a couple more out. For Taurus, please. Thank you. Power. Boom. Here we have the lightning striking, okay? Which is a reflection of your internal power. What do I need to say, Taurus? You are the bull of the deck, right? You are dangerous, which is Good, because you can actually use this power for your greatest interest. Do not underestimate yourself is the main theme of this reading. Something incredible and amazing is going to happen to you and for you into this world, and it's going to be incredible, and it's going to give you the power, the leadership, and also the spark of, again, inspired action and motivation to move forward with your plans. It's almost as if I do get a sense of a tower moment that may have happened or will be happening. It's not as strong as what it would be if it was to come up in your reading, but definitely is coming through with this kind of illustration that I can see here. I'm almost seeing it like when this happens, that's when we are free. Like when we realize our power, that's when we really start to escalate in life. And actually life will be speeding up for you. If you felt like life has been a little bit on a slow, you feel like things aren't moving forward the way that you want it to or in the time that you want it to, you haven't actually acknowledged your true power just yet. And you haven't made amends with the shadow part of yourself. All right? Because we're always going to have a shadow, right? That's life. We need duality of everything. It just happens to be that way, okay? But using that as an excuse not to move forward or as a reason why it's holding you back, no, you can heal the things that you need to heal, but work with it, okay? We can work with it. Oh my gosh. Right, let's see what this is. We have forgiveness. Okay, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, and releasing is super important, and it kind of feeds into that darkness that we spoke about. It is a shadow. It is a shadow here, so really important stuff. And I would actually say, coming up to this week, if you are watching before the time frame, using the 10th of June, which is a new moon, will be very good for you in terms of releasing and opening a new life full of forgiveness, so that you aren't holding on to things that have been blocking you, okay? But forgiveness of yourself, of others, is super important, and it will help you find your true power on the inside here, and it's going to be amazing. And if in fact one of the options that you have has something to do with either a Cancer sign, has something to do with either your emotions and what your gut feeling is telling you, okay? It seems out of reach, but trust me, it's closer than you think. Okay? I love you guys. I wish you all the best, and I will see you guys next week.